deposit. Some black people don't even know what that is. But white fathers, they take their kids and they teach them investments and how to fill out a FAFSA to get into school. Like, some kids don't even know how to fill out a college application.
Think about how it is when some white kids go to college, because I saw that when I went to college, and it threw me off, and especially the older I got, I started realizing what they were doing. They had A1 credit going into college, meaning their parents would buy them their first car at 16, let them co-sign it, but the parent would pay for it. But it would teaching them that they would, if they got a school loan, they get a small loan. The parents would pay off the loan. Most of us said to ourselves, if I'm going to go to college, I got to figure out a way to get the money. Or
the parents had a line of credit and would put the child can be on the line of credit, but you don't have your own credit card, but you have your own line of credit. So you have an 800 FICO score and you're 18.
Yep.
And these are things that white people do and white people train their children to do. My parents actually showed me a lot of this stuff, growing up. My upbringing was kind of different. So they showed me a lot of these things growing up. And then I didn't realize until I got older that everybody this. Like, wow, we aliens out here. Everybody's family didn't show them how to do stuff like this. So, and just going back to the whole co-parenting thing, I think it's extremely important to me because I did have my father. And, if that relationship for girls is very important, because I don't feel like women love attention. Women, we love attention. We're females, but I don't think I didn't grow up starving for or doing just ridiculous stuff, starving for attention from a man because I lacked male attention, growing up.
Nice.
I was like, I could take them or leave
a fairly high self-esteem about, like, your ability to attract a man. And that's something that a lot of women who don't have a father, they don't have that high self-esteem, no matter how pretty they are. They don't have that father. Look at Halle Berry. That's one of the most beautiful women in the world. She has low self-esteem. There was no father. You look at Mariah Carey. That woman had low self-esteem. That's why the first person she married was an old-ass dude. You look at Celine Dion, same thing. She married this old-ass man that used to teach her. The self-esteem level of these girls is like they're searching for something in a woman, even though we tell our little girls, you don't need no man, and black girls get grown. It's something in them that they do believe that they need a man.
Well, because you know what? Women do need a man. And to me, it's abnormal to not desire a man because we weren't created that way. So you're teaching abnormality. You're teaching me to be weird.
Why do you think we have so many? And I know y'all gonna get mad because they said it. They put it in the Huffington Post, tried to make me seem like I'm gay bash, and they had me all through the Huffington Post. I'm trying to make me look bad. Mm-hmm. When I said, why do you think that when you walk around LA right now, there's a whole bunch of black chicks that looking like dudes and holding hands with these fine ass women, finer than I could get in Atlanta, but y'all call us gay. The black dudes is gay in Atlanta. There are way more gay black women in Atlanta than there are gay men, but it's accepted for some odd reason. But like you said, we're teaching them. Mm-hmm. That they don't need. And what's really pissing me off is I saw one down there on the street the other day. Black woman, beautiful, I mean a dime. With this person, I thought it was a dude. And a baby. I said, oh, they just had a baby. Walked past them a couple times and I turned and didn't turn around because they had the dreads. It was a chick. And they was holding hands. So this chick, and your brand new baby. So you desired dick at some point because you had it. Now you with this chick, you're raising this infant, and what you're probably doing is what we're talking about now, is probably keeping it away. Because I've heard a woman say she more of a man than you are to their damn child's father in front of their child.
And you've messed up that child for life. There's so many emotionally damaged children because of what their mothers did to them.
The majority of things that happen to us that make us insane happen to us because of our mothers, because mothers work through emotion. So they handle emotion. So they deal with emotion.
And
so
I just
when you're
never
emotionally fucked up, who touched you more there?
Yeah. And I never wanted to be that mom. I'm like, I never want my son to look at me when he's 18 and why'd you keep my dad away from me? I never wanted him to, that's his father. Don't matter what we went through. That when we created this child, we said we loved each other and we're going to do whatever we can possible to make sure that this child has a wonderful life. And my son's father didn't grow up with his dad. His father died in a car accident when he was like a baby, and his mother never got remarried again. So he grew up in a home without his dad. And so when he found out he was having a son, he wanted to do all the things with our son that he was not able to do when he was growing up. And we had a lot of cultural differences because he's mixed. And so he was raised by a Chinese mother. I'm not. But anyway, he was raised by a Chinese mother. I was raised by a black mother. So our household was very interesting because our upbringing was so different. We looked very similar, but our backgrounds were completely different. And I see how my son embraces his Asian family and their culture. And I think he's so much more well-rounded and mature. And I just see the man that he's becoming, because I can't show him how to point. I squat when I use the bathroom. And what I'm saying is I can't show him how to be a man because I'm all woman all day long. There's nothing masculine about me. So how can I raise this boy to be a man and expect him to be a real man, and I'm keeping his real father away from him? And then I want to turn around and call myself a strong black woman because I'm raising this boy all by myself. That doesn't make me strong. Being a strong black woman is being able to step back and say, you know what? I can't do this by myself. We created a boy, and we want him to be a man, and you're a man, and I need you to take the forefront on this, and I'll back you up because we're still in it together, no matter who likes it. If my new guy that comes into my life doesn't like it, or his new woman that comes into his life doesn't like it, the point of the matter is this child is here, and we have to do whatever it is possible to make sure that he is a successful contributor to society. And what's important to me is that he gets a good education, and that he goes to college, and that he becomes whatever it is in life he wants to become. And I can't do that if I'm feeding a bunch of poison negativity in his head about who he is and where he comes from and who his people are. Because it's more than just my side of the family, and it's more than just his father's side of the family. It really does take a village.
And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point something out to you. If you are one of those women and you believe that raising a child by yourself makes you a 6-letter word that starts with ST, you're correct. It's not strong, it's
stupid.
Bam! Anyway, we're going to go back to one more thing before I get into the solution part of it, which is how to successfully do it, because we got to address it from each angle. And guys, you're not going to get away from this, because I want to talk about the type of guys who have done things, and I don't know if you've seen the guys do this. You know, the guy who he gets a baby by a woman, and he uses her desire as you have a desire to want the child to be with the father. I don't want to be with you anymore, but you are his son, and or her father, and we want you to be in there because I know the value of this. Well, I know some of these guys, and I'm not going to name any of them, but I know some guys close to me personally who utilize that or use that her desire to want him in the child's life, and will play the game of, when I come by and see my child, I kind of want to fuck you. And if you don't sleep with me no more, if you don't want to be with me anymore, I'll stop coming around because I don't really want this child. I kind of want where the child came from. There's a lot of you guys out there that aren't being pushed out of your children's lives. You're not wanting to be there on purpose. Now, it could be because your father wasn't there, so you don't see any value of being there. Or maybe you're just too childish or whatever it is. But you will use that child's presence and that woman's want of you to be in that child's life as a device to sleep with him again. Have you seen that?
All the time. Oh my gosh. I was just talking about that this morning with someone. But yes, I do. I see that all the time. It's control on both ends of the spectrum. And because, as humans, we think about our own selfish needs. And it seems like the child's needs always come
third dairy.
Exactly. And what everybody else wants is always the primary focus. And I think it's extremely unfair. And I think sometimes that's why women they don't want to be bothered, because I don't want to be with you anymore, or whatever the case may be. And that's how you end up with more babies. And it's like, okay, y'all wasn't getting along with the first one. Why are you having a second one? Now she having the third one. Like, what's going on? Why you keep sleeping with this dude? So, it happens on both ends of the spectrum. So it's not, I talk about women a lot because I'm a woman, but I do see how men play the same type of games. Mm-hmm. And it's easy for them to play those games because once you've had a baby for a man, it's like you're gonna love that man forever. You might not treat him right, you might talk about him like a dog, whatever your ill feelings or whatever might be, but just as much as you loved him when you were together, that love has kind of shifted into something else. And so it's really not that you hate him, is that you still love him, and you love him so much, and you just can't understand why this relationship is not working. And sometimes it wasn't meant for your relationship to work in the first place. It was meant for you to create this child. And once you learn that, why would you want to be in a relationship that's toxic and that's unhealthy? And we don't get along. We don't like each other. We have nothing in common except for this child. And men know that their baby mama is vulnerable. One,
that's the biggest thing, the vulnerability.
Yeah,
that woman already
vulnerable.
has a child, and here's what happens. As a woman has a child, there's several emotions, you can tell me if I'm wrong, that she goes through while I'm getting fat, or if she's back out there in the market. Well, I got to bring this child and tell whoever I'm dating, I have or whoever I'm trying to date, I have a child. So they feel less than they did before they had that child. So that man plays on that because he says, well, she'd actually rather go back with me, which is easier than get back out there in the dating market with all this extra baggage.
You're right.
So anytime I want to fuck her, I'll play like,
You're right.
How do you help women out with this one? Because women, y'all claim I hate y'all, but I don't. And we have a woman here that's just as hard on women as I am, but she says the reason she is because she is a woman and want to see you guys do better.
I do. But I really want us to do better.
So this is something you can help them on, because a lot of decisions that y'all make as black women are literally based upon the fact that you have low self-esteem at that moment. Yeah. That's why there's so much weave running around. That's why there's so much twerking. Mm-hmm. And one of the hardest times for a woman, again, I know a friend of mine who used to be just as hard as women on you. As you are. She was hard on them hoes. Mm-hmm. Right there with me, calling them hair hats. Mm-hmm. I don't see why they have kids by niggas they don't know. Mm-hmm. Well, for a year on my show, she was gone. What happened? She was sad. She finally told me. The story was she got pregnant.
Wow.
And she got pregnant by a guy who wouldn't talk to her anymore after she told him she was pregnant.
Yeah, they sometimes have the silver tongue, and you find out how real your man is if those two words it's gonna either run him off or make him step up.
That's why I tell every woman, if you want to know if a guy cares about you, before you even get seriously with him, just call him and tell him you're pregnant. Mm-hmm.
I used to joke around with that. I used to joke.
You tell him, "Oh my God, I'm pregnant." He will respond in a way that makes him jump at the opportunity, or he'll run away. I know because I've done it.
Right. It's so funny because we used to joke about that. I was like, girl, this is how you find out if you with a good man or not. Tell him you pregnant. Yep. If he ready to go shopping for a bassinet, you found your husband. If he running the opposite direction, good. There's no love lost. You didn't got rid of him.
That lay down and be like, let me take the condom off. Let me take the condom off. That guy, you tell him, I'm pregnant. Because if he's so sure, because you know what we say when we lay in the bed. What if I get pregnant? What we say? I don't care if you get pregnant. And that's the face we have too.
Oh, the only time, and that's the only time when it's okay. When you in the bed and what if I get pregnant? It's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you don't want to ruin the mood. Talk about that before you get to the bedroom and find out where their head is prior to. Get married first. Get married first. How about that? Let's try that. Let's try falling in love and getting married and then having children.
Okay, let's try it.
That would be... Wouldn't that be revolutionary? That's that's something new.
It would be.
That would be something totally new to the black community.
It would be great for y'all.
You get married? Really? how long y'all been together?
It would be great for y'all. You black people should try it.
Y'all should try to get married and then have children.
Right.
How about that?
But you see situations like this, so I want to ask you before we get into it. What would you say to those women who are in those vulnerable positions? Because they really, you know what? I've noticed that women get together and they like give kumbaya together, y'all have a lot of strength. Seriously. Y'all will swear off dick. If everybody says, we're not going to take no dick, you can't get none of our dick, our pussy, they will do that.
And more men could probably commit.
Yes. So y'all have the power to swear off a lot of shit if y'all would get together like that. Like I'd say this, and it's funny when I tell people, I said 70 to 80% of all cheating would stop if women weren't assholes to each other.
Yeah.
The only reason we get to cheat is because women can't stand other women.
Right.
If women can stand other women, when you see that Mel Gibson's a fucking married man, when he comes trying to get some pussy from you, if women had solidarity, you'd say, not only am I not going to give you no pussy, but I know who your wife is. Mm-hmm. Try that shit again.
Right.
He would never do it again because he's worried.
Ever. Right.
But because women can't stand other women,
just catty.
The more married we are, the more ass we get.
You know, it's funny that I noticed that after I had my son and we broke up and I was back, in the dating scene again, I dated better men than I did when I was single with no children, because when I entered the dating scene a second time, I was a lot older and I had a child, so I was more humble. And so I started attracting different type of men, because I already knew my background is tarnished. I'm coming into this situation with a child.
That again for me.
My background is tarnished because I'm coming into, I'm coming into this situation and I'm expecting you to not only accept me, but you have to accept this little boy who's not yours. And you don't know if this little boy is gonna love you back, if he's gonna be like, you ain't my daddy. You don't know what you're getting. It's the luck of the draw. But I did notice and realize that, for one, I treated men a whole lot better than I did when I was 23 and 24. Than when I was, I'm not gonna say how old I am, but when I got,
she's 29 now.
Yeah, thank you. 28. When I got older, ooh, with a 12-year-old, I need to stop saying that. Gotta stop saying that. I can't keep saying that now. My son be like, Mom, you saying it?
That would be some wild shit. That's actually, no. Because when I did the story the other week, the 35-year-old grandmother had a 4-year-old grandson.
35-year-old?
And I did it on the show, and I was fucking him up with the math, because math is my strong suit.
Wait.
She's 35. She had a 4-year-old grandson. I said, so let's just break the math down. That brings her down to incubation time. That brings her down to 30 years old when she became a grandmother. Incubation time, like when she found out.
I know what
incubation. So that means that the daughter, let's just split them in half, and I killed him on the show with that. I said, let's split the ages in half. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, let's say one of them had in order for that to work out, the numbers to work, for her to be 30, that means she had her child at 15, her child had her child at 15, hence 30. I said, now that's the best scenario. And one of the other girls said, she could have had her child at 19. I said, yeah, so they added 4 to 15. That means you got to take 4 from the other 15. There is no good way once you push.
I'm trying to add it all in my head because math is my strong suit. If you got
if you got two 15s to make 30, if one went up to 19, the other one has to drop to 11.
I got it.
So there's no way you can make that even look better other than the two 15s.
I know.
So if you think about that grandmother and those two 15s, it's disgusting if it falls any other way, because it's disgusting at 15 and 15.
It's just disgusting, period.
That's what I'm saying.
To be a grandmother at 35.
Right, but we have a lot of our situations
two
like that.
girlfriends my age who are Nana.
See?
It's Nana's baby.
See?
And it's not cute. And you know what? It's like, I hate judging people because, people make choices in life and you play the hand that you're dealt. So the judging part of it, I'm in no space to judge somebody else. However, I think it is extremely sad that you're a grandmother before your 40th birthday.
You're not judging anyone, because what you're doing is we're looking out, and the one thing that we both have in common is almost everything that we say comes back to the children. It's like at the end of the day, fuck them adults. They can do whatever they want to do. Like I told you, I said, a woman can be a hoe all she wants, as long as she don't include her kids. Mm-hmm. You can suck all kind of dick and then still be the PTA mom, and you literally can do them both. But there are a lot of people that just won't do them both, like the woman who took her children and set them in the car while she went to the Lil Wayne concert, hoping to sleep with Lil Wayne. But she doesn't care about her children. She got arrested. She was right back on Instagram, put up a video talking about some of these hoes is hating on me. Who the fuck is hating on you? Which is, I get disgusted when I hear black women use the word hate. They use hate whenever you point out some stupid shit they did. They never say you hating on them because she just got a degree and motherfuckers was talking trash about them. They never say that you hating on them because they just started their own company. It's always you hating on me because you saw my twerk video. You hating on me because I got pregnant by a married man. You hating on me because somebody's telling you the freaking truth. That's like my daughter telling me she burned her hand on the damn stove, and I said, what the hell you doing? You hating on me, daddy. I'm not hating on you. You just made a dumbass decision.
Right.
But we can't tell black women that, which is why a lot of people are pulling away from them and letting them. That's why I had the saying, let them eat cake, fuck them, let them eat cake.
And it's like, sometimes I say that like I just wash my hands of y'all. I don't even want to identify myself as black anymore because we just making us look bad. I am black,
I didn't say nothing.
I see so much stuff in the media that it becomes embarrassing.
Yes.
And it becomes overwhelming.
Yes.
Especially for somebody who, it's hard for me to just look at it and just walk away and pretend that it doesn't exist. Because I have nieces, I have nephews, I have my own son. We have a whole
who's gotta end up dating. You gotta wonder if you care about your son. When you say I will wash my hands, it's easy to do if you don't have any children.
Right.
Once you have a son, your son's going to end up dating one of those people.
I said that in my video too. I said the reason why I said specifically, I said these words. I don't care what goes on in your house. What happens in your house is your business. But what is my business is the fact that when my son graduates from college, because he is going to college, and when he finishes and when he decides upon his career and he's successful and he's ready to settle down with his family and he done bought a house and he's waiting for his beautiful black queen or white or Asian or Mexican or whatever he decides to marry.
Because he got choices.
He got choices. But who is there for him to pick? Because these black girls that I see coming up without their fathers, your mama getting arrested on YouTube, this is what he has to look forward to. My son is 12. So the girls that he's going to be looking at to settle down with were born between 1999 and about 2005.
Crack babies that had Molly babies. You got to give me that.
Exactly. Or I'm probably going to end up with some grandchildren that look absolutely nothing like me. And that's just the reality of what it is. And I can't tell my son, you better marry you a black woman. I can't tell him that because I look at the trifling black women out there and I don't want my son to end up with one of them little twerking girls' daughters. I don't want my son to marry into a ghetto family that thinks that AFDC and Section 8 is a way of life.
How about having your son at 24 years old marrying a woman that's got 2 kids by 2 different people? And we are both single parents. Mm-hmm. I still don't want my daughter having to marry a guy that's got kids. I always say, people like me, and people get mad at me when I say that. I said, people like me need to commingle with people like me. Mm-hmm. You got kids? Go get you a bitch with some kids. So therefore, even if y'all don't have no family, y'all know what it's like to date somebody with kids because you both got kids.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people that's ruining other people's lives. You get these men that have kids, woman don't have kids. He give her a kid. I dated a woman that had 1 child. I said, that's not bad. But she was baby mama number 6. I said, and again, I said, I just put my dick in a blender. I did. You fucked a man that you knew had 6 kids by other motherfuckers, and you laid down and had a baby with that man. Now all y'all powwowing talking about some he ain't shit, but you knew he wasn't shit when baby number 5 told you.
It's not like it's a badge of honor, but I'm always gonna be baby mama number 1.
It is a badge of honor.
Always.
Other hoes is behind. What was it? The first Wives Club? That's what that show was about. These other bitches.
I'm baby mama number 1.
I look at that and I say, you know what? I love the fact that my daughter's mother is my daughter's mother. That's all she is.
Right.
7 years later, almost 8. All she is my daughter's mother. She ain't got no other damn kids that my daughter having to compete with them motherfuckers by other niggas, and then them niggas ain't shit.
Right.
How am I supposed to, me being an active father, how would I explain that she got a baby daddy that ain't shit and another child that...
Right. Right.
But
right.
we have situations like that. Like you said, them women are openly saying, none of my baby's dead. And they think they actually think that that's a plus in dating. Seriously. I don't know if you know that, but you're a woman, so I'm sure you probably do. They think it's a plus in dating by telling a new guy, oh, you ain't got to worry about my baby daddy coming around because he don't. Because we were raised by women, so we think if your baby daddy come around, he's still fucking. Mm-hmm. So they will comfort us by saying, oh, you don't have to worry about that. He's not in my son's life. So we be like, phew, I ain't got to worry about this nigga calling and coming through.
That's raggedy. Like, what kind of relationship did you have that your child's father is not in their life? And you're okay with that, though.
But these same niggas is the one that be up in court with their baby mama while she trying to get the other nigga money. How could you do that?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Because bad parenting. They had terrible parents.
They saw their mother in court, so that was normal for them.
Or
see,
even
that's why these guys don't look out for other males' best interests because they never saw anyone. That's why it's so easy for them guys to take. Right now, there are more guys that make stupid hate videos and stalk me online than there are girls now. The girls have quit. The girls have said, fuck it, the man got resolved. And actually, I'm kind of starting to agree with him because there's some fine-ass bitches that be on his page talking about they agree with him, too. So I don't want to look like the ugly stepsister that hate him because that's all it is. If you look at the chicks, go look online. Every one of the chicks that don't like me look like, dude. And you be like, well, of course you don't like me. You's an ugly son of a bitch. The guys are starting to say, well, let me follow him because there's some fine-ass women that follow him. But then you watch these other dudes that saying, well, I can... They act like women. They say, well, I can get the women who don't like him. And that's their angle. And they're doing the dumbest shit because they never had a father. Because as a man, do you know if you put up a YouTube video of you in a muscle suit jacking off and your daddy saw that, you could be 40 years old. Your daddy's going to fuck you up.
I would feel like my dad would come back from his grave. Like, there's just certain things I will not do because... out of respect for my father, out of respect for my family, out of respect for myself.
Ooh.
There's just certain things that you just, or if you do them, don't record it. I mean, it's a certain standard that you have to hold yourself to because once everybody finds out that you're a hoe, they're going to treat you like you're a hoe.
But the sad part about it is in the black community, hoes can change their shit quicker than in the white community because... You say that, but most of our mothers were whores, so we'll accept one. That's why white guy, it's hard for get him to marry a chick with a bunch of kids that won't give him no kids of his own. I've heard several black women who have 3 kids by 3 different dudes get married and say, oh, I don't want no more kids. I said, that'd be like me telling you my ex-wife and I used to live in a mansion. I'm going to help you, but, we fell out, finances got fucked up. But this mansion bill is still over us, so I still owe that money. When I get married to you, you're going to help me pay for that mansion. You're going to be like, fine, I'll pay for that mansion, but one day, can we get a mansion of our own? And I say, I'm tired of mansion living. See how silly that sounds? Well, white women know how silly that sounds. So they know if they're going to get with another guy, guys kind of want to continue their lineage. But black women don't believe that men need to continue their lineage because there was no lineage in the first place.
Okay, so this is the only part of the video where we can't even agree to disagree. We just disagree.
What do you mean disagree though?
Well, because like I know I don't want any more children. I mean,
That's why you should date a man with children.
I do for the most part.
There it is.
I mean, I kind of, sort of, I've dated a guy without.
You don't think that's wrong?
I've dated a guy without.
Because of course he wants to sleep with you, so he's gonna tell you it doesn't matter.
No, they don't say that it doesn't matter. I've dated a guy who didn't have any kids, and I told him I was like, I really like you, and we have a lot of fun when we go out. He was a really cool guy, but he didn't have any kids. And I was like, I don't want any more children. Like, I'm not on that path in my life. Like, with me, I was a very hands-on mom. I stayed home, that whole thing. So I'm like, my career and, I'm older and that whole thing. And he didn't have any children. And so I was like, I told him up front, and he didn't say, oh, that's okay. He was like, I'll scratch your name off the list.
Well, that is good.
Keep it rolling, keep it moving.
Well, that's good. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a small break, and then we're going to come back and talk about that. And we're going to come back with straight solutions of how we are handling our current situations as being co-parents and trying to do it successfully. Because it is not an easy road. We're not trying to act like it's just pie in the sky and it's always easy. But hell, it wasn't easy when you got the baby. That damn thing didn't come out easy. That was difficult. Well, it was easy for me because I just watched it. But it was difficult for the woman. So what we're going to talk about is the whole process of how to be a successful parent. And we're going to finish an hour. And before we come back, also, I want to ask you, why is it you said I'm wrong? There's nothing I said to disagree about. So we're going to talk about that when we come right back. Stay tuned.